2, 1. How you doing? It's good to meet you.
It's good to meet you as well. Yeah, no, this is not what I expected my day to end up turning into, but I'm pleasantly surprised. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
as far as last minute scheduling goes, this is probably the most last minute I've ever done.
Yeah, well,
And,
I was just with Gus at the bar last night, and he was
Yeah.
like, "I'm supposed to be on this thing, but you'd be much better. You want me to put you in touch? Sure, why not?" All the plans I'd made had fallen through, so let's go ahead and do this.
Shout out to Gus, man, for getting us connected. So he sent me your Instagram,
Right.
and so tattoo artist.
That's
You created your own comic book. You have your own animation going,
right. Yeah.
and you're like a actor,
Yeah.
model. I saw
All of
the
it,
native
yeah.
ad that you did.
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious.
Thank you. Yeah, I wish I could have taken more credit for. Like, yeah, I wrote it, but no, that was all the lovely writers at Raindrop Agency. They also did all the Dr. Squash, or what the soap ads, and yeah, they always win awards. And I came in there, and they were just like amazing to work with. Then I did another commercial with him for an Australian towel brand called Tessellate.
Okay.
And so that was a lot of fun too. So yeah, and now I'm heading to a couple different places, but ending up in New Orleans where we're going to shoot a short film, a comedy written by an Australian guy called Sexy Beth's Giant Dildo Collection. And it's going to be a lot of fun.
I smoked a little bit before we started this, so that was like a symphony in my brain. It's like, what the
no, the title alone, if it's not going to hook people on that, wanting to know what it is, like I have to know. Yeah.
So, are you originally from Australia?
No. So that's the whole thing. And if we go and do the comedy, I have a whole bit about it. I'm a military brat. I was traveling around like all my life, and I ended up living over there for a little while. And this is what happens when a bet goes too far. So it happens to me where I'm hanging out with people, and they'll try and mimic my accent, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
It's so bad, and it hurts. It actually causes me pain. And so when I was living over there, I was doing that to them. And they were like, stop. And, my pride got in the way, and I was like, well, F you, man. I don't know if we can cuss.
Oh, you can cuss.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you guys. I'm fucking sick as fuck. I'm going to show you. So it's Australia Day, which is a holiday over there. We ended up going out. I made a bet with them. Now, alcohol is exorbitantly expensive over there.
Is it?
A 2-liter bottle of Jack Daniels will cost you about $125. And Australian dollar is maybe 78 cents to the US dollar, so it's still about 100 and something bucks. Because of the alcohol taxes they put on there, import taxes, all kinds of other stuff. So I made a bet with 5 blokes. I was like, okay, here's the deal. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to sound fucking sick. And you guys buy me drinks all night. And as I get more trashed, you'd think my accent will get worse. And eventually someone's going to go, wait a minute, mate, where the hell are you from? And then I'll be like, I'm from America, you got me. And then I would pay them back for the drinks they bought me, and then I'd buy them drinks for the rest of the night. So there's 5 of them. Jesus. And they're like, what, that's like 1 drink each? Yeah, that's only like half a week's pay. We got this. But if he has to pay for our drinks, then he's going to be spending a lot of money.
Right.
So I didn't lose, but what I gained was this accent and a horrible case of alcohol poisoning.
How old were you?
Oh shit, I don't know. It was about over 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know the age. I'm 69, so it's my memory's really foggy.
They age better there.
Yeah. No, it's because no ozone layer just peeling off your skin.
Yeah. So, but you even picked up like the shorthand, the slang, the verbiage. Like, you say mate and
yeah. I mean, like if you're over here, I say y'all too when I go down to the south. I'm like y'all or baby or no, sorry, baby. Which like, there's nothing quite like having a 65-year-old black lady just call, oh shit, baby. It just makes me love it so much. Just from the south as fuck. Just oh shit, baby, you looking good. Oh shit. Yeah, I love it.
That's hilarious. So how long you've been doing just entertainment based? Like, when did the first creative thing happen for you?
So that came about because I am a military brat, so every year, or maybe sometimes 2 or 3 times a year, I'd go to a new school. And they wouldn't always be military kids, it's just regular kids. And they'd be like, oh, who's this new kid? And the way that I made friends was to draw pictures, because then they'd be like, oh shit, is he drawing, Freddy Krueger? What the fuck's going on? Oh, that's amazing. Right. And then I'd make friends.
I'm proud to announce that the podcast is now officially sponsored by the fine people over at Chop Chili Company. Guys, this is some of the best chili you can get here in the state of New Mexico, and they are online as well as in stores. They can be found at Smith's, Albertsons, Sprouts, John Brooks, and Lowe's Corner Market. They have 3 amazing flavors that you see here, and they also have frozen green chili that you can get online. Go on over to the website, chopchilico.com, and get yourself some amazing chili today. Podcast is now officially sponsored by the amazing people over at High Desert Relief, a premier herbal destination right here in the state of New Mexico. They have extremely well-trained and knowledgeable staff that are more than happy to help you find what you're looking for, or try something that you maybe have never thought of. They have 2 locations here in Albuquerque, 1 in Santa Fe. All 3 will be listed right here and in the description of this episode. All 3 offering legendary products at absolutely legendary prices, including this awesome merch that they were so kind enough to gift me here. All of this can be found at all 3 of their locations. Again, big thank you to the guys over at HDR for supporting. Now back to the episode.
And then that just ended up, translating into storytelling, going into comics. And, I love, like, you've got a lot of memorabilia over here from, the DC universe, but I love a lot of manga and anime stuff.
Nice.
Because my dad would always bring stuff from Japan, and I'd go, oh, that's amazing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was great. And comics and stuff like that. So I wanted to tell stories like that. I wanted to, make my own heroes, and so that also helped with the storytelling aspect. When it came out that I wanted to go to LA and try and do the acting thing, I had this weird cult following online from from it was mostly girls who thought they fancied me or whatever maybe. But I made comics, and they would follow me. But then I also had guys who are directing cartoons for DreamWorks now, working for Fox, these huge, amazing artists who were also in my wheelhouse and admired the stuff that I was doing, because I went and worked for Fox for a little while doing animation.
Oh, wow.
And it would be you and I just sitting here, and they're like, oh, so what's your last name? Or they'd ask for a card because they knew I did tattoos, and I'd hand it. They'd be like, John Devilman, fucking followed you for fucking 10 years. Oh, I'm such a big fan. And they'd name all these art things that I did, and I'd be like, God, I don't remember that. So I thought I would head out there to try and make it. And then I just got into a toxic relationship, and that fucking fucked off. And
oh man,
but I'm back on it now. I'm doing my best, and yeah.
How long were you? Are you allowed to talk about what you did at Fox?
Yeah, I did a show called Axe Cop.
Okay.
And it had Offerman.
Oh yeah.
He was the voice of Axe Cop, and Patton Oswalt was one of the characters as well. It was actually a really fun show. Just unfortunately that segment, or that little subsect of the production company that I worked for, was kind of mismanaged.
Oh man.
Yeah, so it's too bad, but it was a great experience. Yeah.
Was that out in LA?
Yeah.
So when that project, when it went the way it did, what was the next thing? I mean, because what year is this that you're starting there in LA at Fox, and then when did that end?
I want to say, because once again, COVID screws up timelines. Because I want to be 6 years ago, but it could have been 10 years ago. It's wild. No. Yeah, I don't know. It was whenever Axe Cop was on. So for listeners out there, just do a Google search, see when Axe Cop came on. That's when I was there.
And so after that, did you stay in LA? Did you move on to somewhere else? What did you do out there?
So I mean, I was doing tattoos in LA at the time, and I actually got the job at Fox kind of as a joke. I had a buddy who worked there, and he's like, "Yeah, you should apply." And I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever." And I did, and they're like, "Can you start now?" And I was like, "I'm in Bali. I don't know. Give me a week."
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was wild, but it was a good experience. I met a lot of great people out there, who a lot of whom are still my friends, and I love seeing how far they've come from there. Because boy, there's some fucking powerhouses that came from that little studio.
That's awesome.
Really good artists, and it also got me into just trying to, because you think you could do better. Well, put your money where your mouth is. So I have. When COVID hit, I started trying to put together my own cartoons. I've got one that's like a post-apocalyptic, I guess Terminator-esque fun romp called Metallic Catastrophe. I've got one where it's just think of like the seediest city, like just depraved and a lot of crime everywhere, and then you have like this innocent orc who comes in looking bright-eyed, looking for adventure. And it's in the Old West, and it's called Orklahoma. And his name is Orkson Welles, and he goes there and
I love it.
inadvertently ends up becoming the sheriff of the town who's got to clean it up. And you don't know if he's an idiot that fails upward or if he's got a genius plan or it's just the power of positivity. So think of Fix-It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah.
Just going over there and, hi, y'all. You want to be, I'm here to fix things. And it'd be, yeah. And then I've got another one called The Monsters of Rock, which is, I'm big into D&D. If you came into my little spot, it'd be like D&D toys everywhere. So that's Oklahoma, kind of based out of the D&D world. Monsters of Rock, kind of based out of the D&D world. There's bards, and you have bardic magic. So in this world, imagine Monsters, Inc., but there's magic is real. You have people who can cast spells by playing really good songs. Then if you have like a battle of the bands, you can't really cheat because you're feeding off the energy of the audience. So you give them something, they give you something back, and it's a secular thing. Well, the biggest rock star who's kind of like he's disappeared for 20, 30 years, just comes out of retirement, and he says he's hosting a battle of the bands. And he wants all the bands to try and fight their way up to the top, and whoever wins will be able to open for him in something called Ragnarok, which, spoiler alert, it's his plan to end the world because he's immortal and he's tired of being alive. So he realized that if he takes the greatest potential, like imagine like Nirvana, Jimi Hendrix, imagine if none of those guys ever existed. Elvis never shook his hips on Ed Sullivan. Imagine. Where the fuck would we be right now? The timelines that would be just truncated from that, massive. People who are inspired by that to create more. Just a ripple effect, dominoes falling down. So, if he can sacrifice that, he can call upon these ancient elder gods through a portal that will then come and devour that potential and the world. So he's like, fuck it, reset button, I'm out. So that's why he's having this battle of the bands, because he needs to find that potential. And that's where the premise is. So then you follow the band, which is the Franken-Gnarlies. It's Fedor and Felicia Franken-Gnarly, who are two brother and sister Frankenstein's monsters. You have a alcoholic zombie named Grave Robin. And then you have me as a werewolf tarantula Frankenstein. And it's us trying to work our way up and fight our way to the top, while sometimes uncovering these plots of it's the Jabberwocky is the main bad guy. Yeah, it's all, there's all kinds of like references to things that I grew up with that I love, and so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna put a twist on it, throw it in there.
Holy shit!
Yeah, I got pitch decks too. I'll send them to you after.
Yeah, that's a lot. I love it.
Yeah,
that is. I like how it keeps scaling.
Oh yeah, well
It just keeps going up and up and up. That is. When did that concept first when did you get the idea for that?
That I've had since I was a teenager.
Yeah, that's fucking.
It's loosely based on a show that I saw called, Rock and Rule, an old cartoon. Because after I was watching all the animes and stuff, I wanted to see like American cartoons as well. So it was most of the stuff that was like adult cartoons was from the 60s or 70s, or heavy metal and stuff. Right. So I watched that, and they were right. But this one had it was cool. There was some good things about it, and I kind of took some of that as we do. But that's one of my favorites. There's another one that I have that's supposed to be a live action called here's a title for you. The Space Vikings versus Dracula and the Moon Men.
Yeah, nice. That's fantastic. I think Sci-Fi is going to call you right now.
I would love that. That'd be amazing. But yeah, that's a real fun one. And that, as ridiculous as it sounds, I'd say that's probably like my opus. It's probably the best written. Like, it's concise. Everything has a reason for being there. It's I would say it's more likened to, say, like Thor Ragnarok or Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it's got its fun, but it's not just weird Adult Swim where everything's random and you're just like, fuck it, we'll just do whatever we want.
Like Smiling Friends.
Yeah. It's I'll send you the pitch deck for that too. You can look at all this stuff, but I'm very proud of all the work that I put in, and That's why I come out to New Mexico to hang out with filmmakers and other storytellers and stuff like that,
Yeah.
because stuff is being made here, and I just want to have my fucking foot in the ground when, like, my boots in the ground. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And there's a couple cats out here who I've worked with before who know that if they call on me, I'm in the car. Unless I've already got a prior obligation, I'm in the car and I'm on my way here.
Well, aside from stealing other people's work, then what I'm finding is the golden rule of entertainment is be on time.
Oh yeah,
Be punctual.
as I show up.
No, that was miscommunication.
I'm really going to look at that text because
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you said, yeah, show up at this time. I was like, oh, that's real late. Okay.
Oh yeah, that may very well be my fault, but that from all my buddies that have gone into acting a little bit, that have gone into anything entertainment, comedy, music, whatever. Be on time. Be early.
Oh yeah.
Right? Be the first ones there. Who gives a shit? You're there. So that's a good way to go about it, especially getting your foot in your door here, because I mean, the film industry has been in New Mexico for a long time, but it's still growing and it's still cultivating. Like I'm sure you know, but we're getting they're turning the rail yards, I guess, into a film university.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So
that's
I
cool.
guess all the rail yards are going to get completely just leveled, and it's going to get turned into a film university.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They say it's going to be built by 25. I don't believe that for a second.
I've seen the roads out here, so I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there is a lot of money being put behind that, so we'll see.
Yeah,
maybe.
right. There are definitely priorities in government, and I'm sure a university brings in a lot more money than the roads do. And if you want to put on the tinfoil hat, I'm sure the big boys of the insurance companies love the government. So the worse roads you have, the more broken down cars you have, the more insurance payments. And that's what happens when you smoke too much, kids. So that's a good idea, and it's a good way to go about it. I gotta know though, because of everything you're inspired by and the fact that you are doing your own comic. What was like the first comic you latched onto?
Oh, probably. I mean,
I love the movies, but I live and die by the books.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times for me too.
Because you said you're mainly into manga.
Yeah.
Did manga start for you first, or did comic books, American comic books?
Let me think. That's a good question. Well, I like Devilman, hence the name being John Devilman.
Yeah.
And I don't know how I got a hold of that. So I just latched onto that one, but I also really liked Wolverine and X-Men. I got into a lot of Vertigo stuff, so I liked Hellblazer and
Sandman and shit like that.
So that's just it. I never got into Sandman because all the goth kids loved it, and I was like, man, fuck you, fucking whatever. But you know, and plus it's Gaiman, yeah, Neil Gaiman.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh man, I respect the hell out of him, and I love pieces. Like, man, he's got pieces of his work that I just admire so much. But as a whole, a lot of the times, I think he does just kind of go, yeah, it's magic. You can make
Right.
it world, and you can do the thing, and that's fine. But
the convenience of it.
yeah, and that's fine. But I mean, like, he's written some of my favorite Doctor Who episodes as well. But it's not because of like the grand storyline. It's because of pieces inside, like when the TARDIS. I don't know if you watched that.
I've seen all of. So I know that it was on for a very long time in England, and they kind of did like a modern reboot of it. And I can never pronounce the guy's last name, but I know he's the Ninth Doctor, Christopher Eccleston. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh goodness. He's the first one.
Bald guy.
Yeah. The first one to kick it off.
Yeah, it was like the more modern Doctor. So
And I liked him. He was great.
yeah, I watched all of that season, and then I got halfway through the second one, and then I kind of just like got really busy and never picked it back up.
Nah.
But from what I did see, I appreciated the shit out of it.
Oh yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it.
There was a really touching, heartfelt moment where the TARDIS is like it becomes a human or some kind of bipedal alien or something, and there is like this. Like, imagine if your car just became real and was like, "Hey,
I'd be
I've been
terrified. Oh, the way I treat that thing. God, all the repairs it needs, the pizza crust. Like I would.
Ooh-wee. Try living like that and driving across the country like every other month.
Yeah.
Oh boy. No. But yeah, no, it ended up being like this really touching moment that you get to see. But it was part of like the larger storyline, which it was all right. But that's Neil Gaiman for me.
Okay.
Where I'm like, wow, that was really magical. The rest of it I can
Take it or
fine.
leave it.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. So you're getting into it sounds like this is the more esoteric stuff in general for comic books.
Yeah.
Was there one in particular that really made you think, hey, I can write these? Or was it kind of just like a combined, background of being involved or enjoying that media so much? It's like, hey, like this is, you can do this and make some kind of whatever success or career out of it. I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, it had a lot to do with being a kid and growing up on TV and knowing within the first act how it was going to play out.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, that's the killer. They're going to get together. This. And I remember my family would be like, oh, come on. Until it just every single time I'd call it because it's what they call now the Dan Harmon story circle. And you have you have them all start in a place of convenience and then there's a knock at the door, a call to adventure or something, and then they have to, what's the want they go, and then they try and get the want, and then midway through they get the thing that they want, but they figure out that's not really what they need. So then they get they work to get what they need, but they take what they've already learned, and then at the end of it they end up back where they began. Either if it's a like a TV series, like a episodic or something like that, they don't change. There's no positive growth because they're like, well, that was a fluke. Well, here we are back at the bar until next week, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But if it's something like something well written, then it furthers along the story, obviously, and they grow somehow. They were able to use whatever they learned.
Are you saying Family Guy is not consistently
I'm sure it is.
well written and funny?
I'm sure it is.
No, it is fucking not.
I don't watch.
Yeah, you're better off not. I mean, I'll get a little drunk or I'll take a couple of hits and like put on something like that.
Yeah.
It's so mind-numbingly entertaining. But you're not going to there for substance. It's candy.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's empty calories and sugar. It's not going to do anything
I like
for
the way
you.
that sounds good, yeah. Oh, man. I've been on keto for way too long, so... Oh, man, give it to me.
But no, that's... was it Dan Harmon or the other one that turned out to be a weirdo?
It's the other one. Justin Roiland.
Justin Roiland.
Yeah.
That's his fucking name.
And who knows what I don't know what the story is behind that. That's the whole thing. It's always
Yeah,
so...
I just know it involved him texting underage girls and
Yeah.
But anyway, so you're seeing this story structure pop up more and more and more,
Right.
and you're like, hey, I think I can do better.
Well, not do better, but I think I can plug in my characters into this formula.
Okay.
And I know enough scenarios that when you have the characters and they stand out the way that they do, and that's why I like really interesting characters, because you could put them in something that's been done 1,000 times, but the characters themselves are the things that kind of shine through. You're like, I really like that relationship. That's really awesome. That's really, I like seeing what they're doing with each other, instead of, get to point A to point B, C, D, and then you're back. So that's why I like writing these characters who, I guess, have a bit of grit to them, a bit of edge.
I mean, you pointed out the Guts portrait the minute you came in here.
Oh, yeah. That is the best anti-hero that's ever been written. I haven't read since he passed away, but I know it's been continued. I've heard mixed reviews. I'm still going to latch onto it. I just want to give it some more time.
Same. I got into it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And I collect the manga and like the big leather bounds. And I haven't read a lot recently, but I've read it up into like I think volume 7 or 8 ish. They're dealing with like the fairy stuff and that arc. I forget what it's called, but I've heard the same thing, that reception is mixed. But what gives me faith for that is that it could be good. Is I guess the original creator, he had been meeting with this guy and working with this guy for a long, allegedly, but he left him like notes and stuff. I hope. I mean, because look, is Berserk mainstream? No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
But of the fan base that it has, it's pretty ravenous, and they're putting out a new anime this year. So exactly. So if you fuck up the book, they're like, the immediate response is, that's not what he would have done. You just fucked it up. But then that's going to trickle down on the anime. And then when the anime happens, if that doesn't work, that's not going to help this work. And if this still doesn't work on top of that, not work, you know what I mean?
If it's anything like the last Netflix anime that came out,
Yeah.
I'll be so upset because that...
You're talking about the episodic, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Where it was all 3D.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. I couldn't get through all of it.
It was really bad.
Yeah, I think 9 episodes I made it through that, and that was like when I was just first getting into Berserk.
Yeah.
So
Have you seen the Golden Arc from the 90s?
Yes.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I just watched that actually this past summer.
Yeah,
but
lucky.
and so I I seen like the Golden Arc trilogy movies that came out. I really enjoyed those. I was like, oh, manga or anime, the continue, and that was it was just boring compared to everything else. Not well written. The animation isn't great, and so it's imperative to them. I would imagine that if you're going to make claims like, "Hey, no, we got the blueprint. We just need to punch in the holes."
Yeah, it's really rough too because like you were talking about Family Guy, and I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to artwork. It's not because of the story or anything that I don't the character design is so ghastly abhorrent. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this trash. Same thing with Bob's Burgers or Big Mouth, which people fucking love. And I'm like, I can't love.
I love Big Mouth.
Yeah. They fucking absolutely, they're like, just get over it. It's amazing. And I'm like, I'm just a snob. I can't.
No, I get it. I mean, because the writing in Big Mouth is actually pretty great. It gets, even because I'm a huge comedy fan in general. Yeah. But even for me, sometimes it kind of like pushes it a little far. It's like, oh shit, how'd they get away with that? But I understand it. Like the animation, it took a little bit for me to get over too.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking at it like, okay, I can deal with Family Guy, but this looks like simple with the worst details. But I was able to get past it and really get into. So what I'm curious about before we get out of here, are you in LA? For the most part?
I wouldn't say for the most part. I'm hardly ever there. I'm in LA and then I travel wherever there's fucking something going on.
Okay.
So I'm going to St. Louis probably right after comedy because I'm going to go. Oh, I'm getting up on that mic. You'll see.
Where at?
Whatever you said. There's an open mic tonight?
Oh, tonight? Oh, you're going to go?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be at, this is for everyone listening, every Wednesday at Red Door, there is a open mic from 7 to 8. So do shit.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry. No, from 8 to 9. Sign up is between 7 and 8.
Yeah,
there we go.
Sweet.
There we go. And how long are you in town for?
I'm probably going to leave right after that.
Okay.
I'm probably going to go see a couple friends and then dip out because it's a 17-hour drive that I have to do to St. Louis.
That's fair. I was going to say, for everyone else that's listening, I think this will be out on Friday. There's going to be a lot of people at open mic tonight because we have a big comedy show called One Liner Madness happening on Sunday evening. Oh. So everyone's trying out their shit for that.
I see.
But it'll be a good time. Let me see. What was I gonna say? So, how are you like maintaining the lifestyle? So I think that's something that's very elusive to people. You know what I mean? Of just being in entertainment, being in the creative space. Like, what do you like? Is it all like contract based work? Is it all like kind of stuff like that, or is it just
debt?
Fair enough. No, I respect the honesty.
Yeah,
I respect the honesty.
I live on next to no like. I just went to Walmart so I can eat. I bought pepperonis and cheese sticks so that when I'm driving, I can eat that. I don't go out to eat.
Yeah.
I don't go out normally unless it's to open mics or something. When I am traveling, I sleep on my friends' couches. I'm in it. I'm living the dream.
I mean, fuck, dude. If that's what you love and you love doing it so much that you could be a nomad like that, I mean, honestly, all the respect in the world for the transparency because other people, myself included, I'm working my way out of the 9 to 5. But a lot of people sit in the 9 to 5 and think, well, I wish I could do the X, Y, and Z. But it takes a lot of sacrifice, and you're not the only story like that. Like Annie Letterman has a really good joke about it. She goes, "Yeah, I remember she goes, I decided to live in my car in LA for however long. And I remember telling myself, you know what? This is going to be a chapter of the book. So finally I made it out, got an apartment. I was happy, but I moved back into my car and I thought maybe there won't be a book."
Yeah. I mean, I live out of my car more often than I'm in LA.
Yeah.
I was just talking about how I was going to sleep in Sedona until I realized that once the night comes, because it wasn't too bad. It was snowing, it was just a couple of days ago. It was snowing and that's fine. And I was like, oh, this is not too bad. It's not too cold. But as soon as the sun set, it just got freezing cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I'll just be on the road and I'll be like, oh, I'll just sleep in my car. Fuck it.
Yeah.
It'll save me $70 on a hotel room and who cares? And then I can just wake up and get back on the road. And then, like, for New Orleans, I do work over there sometimes. Like I work at a tattoo shop over there called Electric Ladyland. It's like this world famous tattoo shop.
I've heard that name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty famous. And then I'll get acting roles every now and then.
Nice.
And that's also nice because that pays all right. It pays pretty good.
I can get $140 hotel after I do that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, I still sleep in my car because I don't want to be late. Remember,
right.
You got to be on time. I've actually slept outside of the place that we were outside of the studio where we were filming the Native commercial. I just slept on the street because I was like, I don't want to be late.
Oh, shit. I mean, dude, again, I respect the transparency and I fucking respect the hustle.
Yeah, you got to be able to sacrifice. I mean, it comes easy for some people, sure, but you got to be willing to sacrifice, and that's the key to it. How bad do you want it?
That is fucking awesome. So what city do you spend the most time in, I'd say?
I think right now probably New Orleans because of the pandemic and everything.
Yeah.
And I'll probably go there 3 times a year. I also go to Houston and Austin a lot. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I'm ever in LA, which is weird.
Hey man, that doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Oh no. When I'm there, I don't go out. I'm usually I'm coming out with a coloring book now called Coloring Cryptids.
Okay.
And it's an activity book with cryptids like Bigfoot and Loch Ness Monster and all that. And trying to work further on the animation. I just put out a book called Dude Looks Like a Lady that questions gender norms because my family thought I was gay because of pictures they saw on the internet. Well, I was like, well, I'll show you something then. How's this? And I asked my female presenting friends to send me photos of them looking sexy, and I recreated them. And then I made a whole book about gender because it ended up being a weird thing. And I'm super proud of it. It's really awesome. And goddamn, I look fucking great at it. Like, I can say that.
That's hilarious. Dude, I'm glad we got to meet.
Yeah.
You are like a awesome snapshot of what you can do in America.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that. But this is also, like, this is great. I love what you have going on here. I'm glad that you are doing this. Thank you for having me. I'm going to go now and watch you destroy.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
I almost showed up because I thought we were going to meet at 6:30. I have a Buc-ee's onesie in my car right now.
That's awesome.
And so I saw the clip of you doing the Buc-ee's bit, and I was like, I'm going to show up in the motherfucking Buc-ee's onesie, man. Man, I'll show this motherfucker, yeah. But yeah, then you message me when I'm like, man, I'm here early like some stalker. I'm going to go to Walmart and just take a poop and just look at people. I don't know. Fucking, hey, how far are you? What? Oh shit.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, listen, dude, this has been fun. Like I said, I mean, I think that's the best way to describe you right now is that you are a great snapshot of what you can do in this country.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
And again, as long as I'm sure there are days you don't love it, but when I see something like this where you're maintaining the passion for something extremely difficult, you continue to do it. No matter how shitty your diet is, dude, you look like you're in shape. So
my diet is locked in.
Yeah, whatever.
Which sucks when you're on the road.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I would just love to fucking stop off and get some McDonald's or something, which is Macca's in Australia for any of those listening.
That's awesome.
So I'd love to stop and get if I can get some Macca's, mate. But yeah, no, I'm like, just fucking cheese sticks and pepperoni for me, please.
Fuck it. Good for you.
Dude, because these auditions are like, let me see you with your shirt off, huh? Yeah.
Right.
And so, yeah. Plus it does, it helps with the book. When I gotta look all sexy and shit. No, it's funny. Like even the native ad, which I'm topless in. The negative comments were fucking killing me. One person was like, "Oh, it's kind of fat, don't you think? Kind of see some guttage right there." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. Merman, more like mermanity." And then people are convinced that I was born a woman and I'm a trans man. And I was like,
oh, Jesus Christ.
But no, I was like, oh, thank you. That's so fucking... thank you. My goodness. Well, I am beautiful. I get it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's been good fun. But yeah.
Well, shit, good stuff, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.
This will be out on Friday.
Sweet.
I'll let you know about everything. Where can people find you on social media, on the internet in general? Where can people find you?
Best place is just at John Devilman, John Devilman.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for coming through last minute.
This was
a lot of fun. This is a nice surprise.
Oh, good.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we will see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Cool.